Over the years, our family's had a share of health problems.
So prescriptions are a part of our life.
Before we went to the big box store.
We both thought it would help us save. But with the long lines and impersonal service, filling prescriptions became a chore. That's when a friend recommended D&H.
Now Tristan knows our prescriptions. Brenda always helps us find the right vitamins. And after Dad's fall, Monica's been a real expert with all our home medical needs. All without the lines.
Trust and service.
That's our D&H.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends. It's Wednesday, July the 20th, and we're glad to have you with us today. We've got Mel Zelenak with us, consumer tips, a retired professor with the University of Missouri, and you've always got information on how we can save money. Today, we're not talking about traveling, are we?
Well, I don't think we're going to talk much about traveling, but we will talk about some good consumer tips.
Okay.
The first one I really like. We weren't able to get it on the last show, but I'd like to cover it first here. But remember, with our tips, by and large, keep in mind a penny saved is better than a penny earned. And why, Paul?
A penny saved is better than a penny earned. Well, you don't have to pay taxes on the penny you save.
That's exactly
Isn't that what
right.
Benjamin Franklin said?
Well, he didn't say it quite that way, but it's a general idea.
Okay.
Before making a purchase is a second tip, and this sounds trite, but we need to think through these things, especially in this economic time. Before making a purchase, ask yourself if it's really a need or a want. And if it's a want, maybe you want to think through it. Maybe wait a day or two before you make that
because
decision.
a lot of times, and that's good advice, Mel. A lot of times we see something or we have the impulse to buy something or do something, which is going to cost a great deal of money.
Yes.
And you say, oh, I'm going to do it. But if you wait, as you said, wait a day or two, maybe the next day or the day after isn't quite as urgent as it was 2 days ago to have it.
Think of all the ramifications. When my wife and I first got married, I was thinking about this situation. They had those trash compactors, and we were so excited about them. You know,
getting a trash compactor?
Yeah. Well, the bags for those things were like $1 a piece at that time. It'd probably be $15 now. So you have to think through not only the purchase, but what the cost is going to be, the long-term cost. I don't like to bring this up, but pets, you know, the little cute little pet, maybe $100 or whatever, but that's a little longer term commitment than that.
Yeah, but pets you do
I
because
know.
you get a pet because you love the pet.
That's right.
And the cost, you know, that just goes with it.
Well, yeah, but is that a need or a want is what we have to ask. Well, let's go on to something more pleasant. Here's my first question. Paul, there are more than 7,000 online pharmacies. Most are legitimate and offer great values. Is that true or false?
Okay, ask that question again.
There are more than 7,000 online pharmacies. Most are legitimate and offer great value. True or false?
I would say that is false.
Why? You are correct, by the way.
I am
It is
correct?
false, yes.
Because I just don't think you can beat going to a locally owned pharmacy and dealing with people that you know.
Why?
Because I think they're going to take care of you. They're going to take better care of you.
Okay.
You know these people, and they live in the community, and they have a vested interest in you.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, that's part of the story that's correct. But the other part that's also correct and maybe even more compelling is you have to make sure that these items that you're buying online are safe and that they're effective. Safety and efficacy is the term that's very often used.
Do you mean if you went to an online pharmacy, you could buy some products that are not
Absolutely. And if I would encourage all of your listeners to go to the May issue of Consumer Reports, May 2011. If you're not a subscriber, go to the public library. They'll have a copy there. And I'll tell you, I was overwhelmed when I read this article. And indeed, the pharmaceutical group, the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy, report that only about 3.5% appear to be legitimate online.
You're only 3.5%?
Only 3.5%. The rest sell foreign or non-FDA approved drugs and are not required, don't require a valid prescription, lack of physical address, for example, are some of the reasons why.
So you definitely could get some products that can harm you and not help you.
Exactly. And according to Consumer Reports, even in Canada, several people I know actually purchase drugs online from Canada because they think for some reason it's safe. Well, in Canada, from what I understand, they can just import the goods from a foreign country that has no safety or efficacy requirements, and they could send it down to you. Whether that's legal or not is another question, but whether it's dangerous, I think it may tend to be so. So if you're buying drugs online, at a minimum, I would encourage you to go to the May 2011 issue of Consumer Reports. Now, that said, there are a lot of credible online pharmacies, Consumer Reports pointed out. But they have to be what's called accredited through what's called a VIPPS program, and we're getting a little too technical now.
So your best bet is to stay with your local independent pharmacy.
And as a matter of fact, Consumer Reports noted that you're going to get the best service with an independent, like you're suggesting here. You're going to get quality advice from them. It is better to stick with them, in my opinion.
Your local pharmacy.
That's
that you
correct.
know. You know them.
So this is one place where saving a couple bucks is definitely not worth it.
That could be life and death. Okay, we got time for maybe one more.
Okay, what is the deceptive sales practice of packing? That's actually very, very, very popular sales practice, and it's really deceptive. Packing.
Probably trying to add more onto the product that you're thinking about buying than you really need. Is that right?
Not really.
What is packing?
It's adding extra fees to the price or product of a service. And we all know the baggage fees and so forth with the airlines. But my gosh, when you look at it, this happens a lot with internet shopping again and TV ads. For example, there's this miraculous tomato plant that's advertised for $15, but the shipping and handling charge on it is an additional $30.
Oh, that's called packing.
Yeah, that's called packing.
Having to buy a pillow on your next airline flight if you want to rest your weary head.
Yeah. What can we tell you?
That's called packing, right?
Yeah. Always check the total charges when purchasing any product online or with TV ads. My nephew is an accountant out of state, and they actually make more money on their shipping and handling, quote, shipping and handling, than they do on the product that they sell.
Okay. Mel, we're out of time, but if people want more information on any of this, they can contact you at?
Cruise@centurytel.net.
Okay. Mel Zelenak, always a pleasure to have you with us.
It.
Okay,
You
we'll
have a
come
great
back
day.
again next month.
Thank you.
Tomorrow on our show, Heart of Missouri Casa. Our show directed by Travis McMillan of the Reynolds Journalism Institute, Audio Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director, Andrew Roscoe, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. And if you have any suggestions or questions about anything you'd like to hear or see, go to kbia.org, click on Radio Friends and Vodcast or Podcast, or drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.